Hello, welcome to today's video. What else is there to say? We're gonna do the top 10 Pokemon cards that I own with a select few runners up, honorable mentions, if you will. Hope you enjoy it. This was recorded live on my Twitch, twitch.tv/FlipHatesCheese. You know what it is. See you at the end. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official FlipHatesCheese top 10 Pokemon cards list. I don't know. I'm not good at this. So I do actually have loose market analysis pulled up, and we will be looking at it here on this little screen here. So we're going to start things off. Number 10 of 10. There are 5 honorable mentions. We'll do those toward the end. What's up, Brandy? How you doing? Number 10 is the Rainbow Rare Secret Rare Pikachu from Vivid Voltage. The Rainbow Chonkachu, as people like to call him. This card is looking like it is going to come in right around $145.33. Just in case you guys can't see that super well. This is the loose raw market price estimate right here. That is how much it costs. So $145 is the cheapest card in my top 10 so far. My friend has 20 unopened Evolutions packs, and he won't open them because he wants to sell them. Oh, man, that's bad news. Coming in at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Believe it or not, I actually pulled this card and the next card on camera on my old Pokemon channel. Number 9 is the shiny Charizard from Champion's Path. I also pulled this card on camera. That is not going to be the case for all of these cards, I can assure you. But for these two, these are modern cards that I pulled. And I cried on the phone to my mother for, like 10 minutes talking to her about how absolutely insane this card is. I don't think that you guys can really see in the corner there. But this card is $159.71 raw market value, estimated. Yeah. So that is number whatever. That is number 9. And we're already at over $150 US. So you're wondering, right? What is number 8? Surprise, surprise. Just kidding, obviously. Did you pull these cards, or you've had them? A little bit of both. These so far I have pulled. I pulled these out of packs. Next up in the number 8 spot is the Charizard alt art from Brilliant Stars. I pulled this card when on release day when Brilliant Stars came out. I actually pulled it and the Rainbow Charizard, which I just so happened it just came short of the list. I actually have 2 of them, but I pulled both of those cards on release day. But yeah, this card is one of my favorite Charizard cards, if not my absolute favorite Charizard card of all time. That's number 7. In case you're wondering, here it is. And we're looking at $167.09. $167 for that card. Absolutely nutty. An insane card. I was recording the audio when I pulled that card. I wasn't actually recording video. I was just recording the audio because I have a superstition that I can only pull cards when I'm recording in some sort of way. Next up is a card that I have had forever. This is a Mew EX from the Expedition series. Pokemon Expedition. I've never seen that card close up. Never pulled it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go on and pull the market up over here on the side. This Mew is like the most realistic Mew card This copy that I have is pretty immaculate, honestly. I just am super fortunate to have it. The market on this one is $189.85 for this Mew that I have. My teeth are clenching, waiting for number one. Yep. So there is lucky number 7. All right, so next up is number 6. We have got one of the most difficult to pull modern Pokemon cards. Talking Rayquaza VMAX, boys. The Ray from Evolving Skies. One of the all-time pulls for modern time. This card is number 5 of 10. There are going to be 5 cards more expensive than this. I mean, the fact that that is even possible is absolutely insane, bro. That card is only number 6. So, in case you can't see the number, this video is recorded August 5th, and the market has constantly been shifting to this card. The most I saw it go to was about $240 or so. The raw market price on it is $217.29. An absolutely expensive banger of a card. So the funny story about number 5, we are now in the top 5 cards. The funny thing about this number 5 is that when I initially made my top 10 list, which is still sitting here on my phone, it is completely useless now, but because it's completely scuffed. I made it months ago. This card was not even on the radar. So how do you know it's a PSA 10? It's got to be perfectly lined up. It's got to be a perfectly printed card. The outlines have got to be the same length, the top, the bottom, the back. There can be no surface scratching. And on the actual card itself, where the holographic foil is printed, there can be no print lines from the machine. Yeah, it's a super overwhelming process. All right, so we are now into the top 5, and as I was saying, I totally skimmed over this card, and it ended up being in my top 5. So the next one up, none other than the Delta Species Charizard. There is one issue with this card, and it is an ink spot right there beside that electric sign. It is an immaculate card other than that. And I thought it was damaged when I got it, but I do actually believe that it is a print error. For people that don't know anything about Delta Species, this was a period of time around the mid-2000s where Pokemon were a different type. So if you see this Charizard, of course, he's usually a fire type. He's an electric type, so he literally does electric moves. Electric and metal down here. So, yeah. This card, in case you were wondering, is $261.57 at the time of recording. That's number 5. Number 5 is $261. We have now broke the top 5, and we're already over $250, bro. PSA 8 or 7, yeah, somewhere around there. Next up, coincidentally, is my absolute favorite card of all time. As soon as I move the card over, if you know modern Pokemon, you know this card. It is, and from the moment that I first saw it, my absolute favorite card of all time. The Latios alternate full art from Team Up. I tried my hardest to pull it. I ended up having to buy it because the market was increasing so much. I paid $80 for this card. I thought I was going to vomit whenever I paid $80 for it. And as you can see now, or you may not be able to see, this card has escalated all the way to $301. My absolute favorite card of all time. There's no question about it. Always has been, always will be. I just absolutely love it. In the lore of Pokemon, these two Pokemon are always apart from each other. So to see them come together in a collaboratory way where a collaborative way where they get to share a card and it shows their love for each other. Yeah, absolutely incredible thing. It is a beautiful thing to see. So all you modern Pokemon fans are about to absolutely lose your mind when you see that this card is number 3 and not number 1. Everyone always assumes that this card is the most expensive Pokemon card of modern time. You see it, you know what it is. It is the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies, the Moonbreon as they call it. This is one of the most beautiful Pokemon cards ever made, ever printed. It is an absolutely immaculate copy as well. I mean, it is a beautiful card. This card is so good. I figure that's like $10. Yeah, well, you're a little wrong. This card is now worth $322. This card is $322.54. $323 rounded up. So $9. That card is the holy grail. Take it or leave it. That card is the absolute holy grail of modern time. All right, so let's get into the number 2 spot. I don't like it. Oh, man. The number 2 spot. Once again, this is going to blow everyone that's watching this that knows anything about Pokemon away. This is one of the most mind-boggling things ever. We have got Big Daddy himself, the Hidden Fates Charizard GX. This card I never thought would be able to get, would ever get to where it is. I never thought that I would own this card. This is the hardest card I've ever tried to pull. I've probably opened 1,000 packs of Hidden Fates. I never pulled it. A close friend of mine actually bought this for me, and another friend of mine gave me the Umbreon. So 2 of the most expensive cards that I have were given to me, literally. This card, when it was purchased for $900. I am not even joking. Who bought this for me spent $900 on me. And there is the $370.80 mark for number 2. I mean, that is overwhelmingly expensive. That card is $371, dude. So now we got kind of a fun mini segment. I'm going to show you guys the cards that just barely missed the mark for one reason or another, and we will quickly talk about its market analysis as well. First up, weirdly enough, and the only reason that I didn't put it in the top 10 because it would have dethroned the Rainbow Pikachu, actually, is the OG Dark Charizard holographic. It's sleeved 783 times, but it is hollow, I promise. You can kind of see the reflection, but yeah. And she's in pretty incredible condition too. I knew you had that one still, Jelly. Yes, sir. So if we look at the market analysis, the first edition is $553. This one is not a first edition for anybody that doesn't know the difference. Let me take my camera away just for like 2 seconds. If you see the stamp right here, this was the original print of this card. The one that I have is just the unlimited print when they reprinted it. And all that I could really get to are listings of like near mint and lightly played. And it's about $150, $160. You could get a little more, a little less. But since there would be cause for conversation about the price of it, I decided to just straight up not include it in the top 10. $150 card. Didn't even make it. I don't know if I mentioned it. The birthday Pikachu was also in that list of cards that didn't make it. It is not an honorable mention. We're not even going to talk about the market on it. Next up is what I consider to be the holy grail of all of Pokemon, the actual OG, the main man, the myth, the legend. I pulled this Charizard myself when I was in 2nd grade. This is a holographic base set Charizard that I got out of the closet of my mother's house. And a raw copy of the unlimited version of this card is $337.16. Right there. $337.16. I'll show you guys why I decided to not include it in the top 10. And it's mostly because it does have some light play on the edges. So I'm thinking it's probably about a $150 card, somewhere around there, something like that. But still, seeing that $337.16 just price tag is so overwhelming. Well, it looks like we have 3 more honorable mentions to go over. And once again, I'm going to continue to tell you guys why it is not in the top 10 itself. The next one is this Mew EX from Holland Phantoms that I actually got from a friend of mine at work. And the simple reason why it wasn't included was because it just barely skimmed underneath the price range of the entire bracket of expensive cards that I own. This card's market is $137.87. So it's about a $138 card. The copy that I have is pretty immaculate. I'd give it light play at worst. And light play is going to severely affect the price. See there, the market is all over the place, so it's kind of tough to tell on older cards like this. But yeah, the Mew EX from Holland Phantoms, one of my absolute favorites, especially just for Mew cards in general. That is the cream of the crop to me. So the next one is an extremely overwhelming price to see. The raw market for Rocket's Scyther EX is a $180 card. The reason it is not even close to being included is because I think I paid like $40 for a cooked copy just so I could have it. You can see the edges are all damaged. The back does not look good. The card is actually peeling up a little bit on the sides. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I decided against including this simply because of the condition, but it was still a really cool card. Then our final honorable mention is the coolest card that I own, in my personal opinion. It is the Gold Star Latias. Same reason as the Scyther that I did not include this in the top 10 is just because the condition is not great. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could peel that off right now. So essentially, before they established shinies in the Pokemon series, they had these Gold Star Pokemon. Well, it was basically an offshoot of shinies. So everyone is desperately wondering why. So the thing about the shiny, by the way, before I move on, is that the prices are all over the place. So the only actual Gold Star Latias on here is $1,000. Like, actually $1,000. So it's a really hard card to find. And these first two aren't even legitimate Gold Star Latias. They're World Championship Latias, which is a whole thing we don't even have time to get into. So the only disclaimer that I want to get out of the way before we move on is, by the way, this card is just so incredibly difficult to find that even in the condition that card is in, it's still probably worth about $100 or something like that. I mean, it's such a hard card to pull. But the market is everywhere on these things. I mean, they go all the way to $500, $150 to $1,780. I mean, it's impossible. So the only thing that I'm going to say is that this card in its condition may not be the most expensive card, but the raw market on this card is so insane that it has to be my #1 most expensive card, even though the condition is not mint. Weirdly enough, it is the Umbreon EX from Unseen Forces. I got this card from a buddy I went to school with. He just wanted to offload his entire collection. I offered to buy it all at one time. And when I looked up the market price on this card, I almost threw up. This card is worth $450 raw right now. The listings are all over the place, just like everything else. But the cheapest that I'm seeing it is $450 for a near mint copy. Mine obviously isn't, like I said, but it is such a cool card, even in the condition that it's in, that I just had to put it on. I had to make it and put it on the list. It has a little dent over here, and that's pretty much it. Everything else looks good on it. I would definitely give this like a moderate to heavily played, but still, that is one of the most inclusive cards that I own. This card is so crazy. So yeah, it's a $450 raw card. So yeah, if you want to consider only the mint copies of cards that I own, the Charizard's probably the most expensive near mint card that I own. But the Umbreon exclusivity is definitely the craziest card that I own for sure. And this is, you have no idea how many cards in this entire conversation were literally just barely out of range for actually making it onto my list, like within 10 to 20 bucks, so that's it. That's my top 10 cards right here, right now. This is it. This is the whole gang's here. These are my top 10 cards on August 5th of 2020. Really appreciate you watching my video. Once again, FlipHatesCheese. That's who I am. Twitch.tv/FlipHatesCheese. I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching the video. Hope you enjoy the content. If you do, would love to see you on the platform where I create this content. Once again, strive to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Appreciate you watching. See you later.